Hi, my name is Steve, and I live in northern New Jersey. I'm the host of a new podcast called Dr. Ackrite's Get It Together podcast, and I'm very, very proud of this show.
Number 12, calm down. If they could, they would. You can never get through to a child when they're throwing a tantrum. Instead,
And it's for that reason that I come in front of you and I ask you for your hard-earned dollars to support my efforts in making Dr. Ackrite a global phenomenon. We started this podcast in May of 2016 as a weekly podcast, and initially I thought, oh gosh, podcasts are everywhere, and is there really a need for another one? But I felt I had a lot to say, so go figure. I jumped right into the water. As it turned out, the moment I began to put the word out there, instead of getting the audience that I thought I was going to get, which would be comprised of my mom, my siblings, their friends, and all of my friends and fellow community members, fellow PTA members, what I wound up getting was something very different than that. I went in a few short weeks from 20, 30 listeners, which would comprise that group that I just described, to having literally hundreds and now thousands of people all around the country and all around the world who want to hear what I have to say. I don't know why my message has resonated with them. I like to think it's because I have a good sense of humor. It's not bad. You haven't seen that much of it here, but it does come out in flashes. I also like to believe it's because there is something about my own personal life and my own personal struggle that resonates with the listeners. And interestingly, my biggest base of listeners are in Inglewood, Colorado, and I still haven't figured that one out. I'm new to this podcasting thing, but every week, hundreds of listeners in Inglewood, Colorado tune in to hear me. I don't know anyone there. I'm not sure I've ever been to Inglewood, Colorado, but I can tell you that I'm probably going at some point in the future just to say thank you and to meet these people who find me so fascinating. This whole thing originated almost as a healing process. My kids and I went through a terrible divorce over the last 3 years, very contentious. Essentially, their mom decided after 11 years of marriage that she no longer wanted to be married and that she didn't want to be a full-time mom. So on my children's 9th birthday, she got into her car and drove to her boyfriend in Maryland and moved in with him. They still see her every other weekend and for part of the summer vacation, but I have had to mutate from being the fun parent, the one who rolls around on the floor on those occasions when he's home hanging out with the kids, to being the everything parent. Guys, I had to teach myself how to cook, how to clean. I was already helping with homework, but now it became my sole responsibility to help them with homework, helping them with growing up issues. My 2 youngest children are a boy and a girl, and I can kind of help the boy just fine based on my own personal experience, but the girl, I've had to go back to school. I've had to do a little bit of learning to help her through what it means to now be 11 years old, what it means to now be a girl in middle school, what it means to like a boy, those sorts of things. I've had to deal with every bit of that. And I think I've handled it like a champ. One of the things that has helped me handle it like a champ is being here at home, doing work that doesn't take me to an office or to another city like it used to, and being available to them 100% of the time. This podcast project, when brought to full fruition, is going to give me the opportunity to stay here with my kids, watch them grow up, be available to them even more, and not have quite so much to worry about, because once I can improve the quality, I can improve my viability for sponsors. Right now, we don't have any sponsors, and I've done 20 episodes all on my own steam, and I've been chief cook and bottle washer. I even wrote the theme music in order to get this thing off the ground. But people are listening, guys, and I want to make it better. I want to give them the very best of me, and I want to make this podcast something that is listened to around the world and resonates with people around the world. What is the podcast? It's a little bit of advice. It's a little bit of cranky old man pants, just kind of saying whatever pops into my head. Sometimes I interview experts because I will admit, although I'm an educated person, I'm not an expert in much of anything, and certainly none of the things that I talk about. But I'm a parent, I have children in this world, and that makes me a little bit of an expert to a certain extent. I want your funding so that I can build what's called a whisper room. Right now, I have blankets and sound buffering materials all around, and it doesn't sound horrible, except when someone right outside my house is cutting grass, or airplanes are going by from the nearby Newark Liberty Airport, or the children in the school right across the street are out for recess. Those are times when I really can't do much sound work, and I would like to buy the equipment and build a whisper room. I would also like to improve the quality of my microphones and upgrade my computer. I realize that I'm asking a lot to people who may or may not have heard of my show. In fact, I do hope you'll listen. I'll put some links in the description. I hope you'll listen. This is a worthy cause, guys. I'm trying to bring joy to the world. I'm trying to keep two really fantastic children realizing that they are my number one priority. By the way, I'd be remiss if I didn't say I also have an adult child, a 22-year-old, who is also my priority. I also want, guys, to have a studio that looks like a studio so that I can occasionally have guests come in and talk to me instead of kind of trying to figure out how to manage an on-site interview or a Skype interview or a telephone interview. I'd like to actually meet my guests from time to time, and I'd like for the quality to be there every step of the way. Anyway, I hope you'll help me. If you have any questions, my life and my mind is an open book. I'm happy to answer anything for you. I'll even think of some jokes so next time we talk I can be a little more entertaining. But I'm grateful that you even watched me thus far, and I hope we get a chance to work together. I'm going to come up with some rewards that make it well worth your while. Even if not in monetary value, hopefully there'll be things that you guys will take forward and you'll treasure. Thanks again for watching.